Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo, 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 yo. Do a different yo every day. What's going on, Mike? Crypto Shock, Keith, Rod, Scotty Swing. See Bathwater still breathing. That's good. Anyways, let's jump onto the charts, man. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm sure a lot of people were watching or listening to CZ's Twitter Spaces. I don't know if you guys are interested in that. But I think a lot of people were watching that. It should be over by now, but here we are. Here we are on another Monday morning. Bitcoin got a little bit of a rise up last night, but seems like it's now coming back down to earth after we sort of get the market open this morning, right? So let's talk some charts. Let's get crazy Daisy in here. You guys are making jokes about the dust. Guys, the dust is still settling. You guys said it's making everyone sick. It's making everyone crazy. The dust is still deciding we're still deciding where we are in the dust, okay? Are we sort of undervalued in the dust or are we overvalued in the dust? Let's keep letting the dust dissipate, okay? We can almost see the light. I can almost see the light at the end of the dust. I just don't know if it's red or it's green, right? But no, the dust is settling here. And we'll talk some charts this morning, man. We got the coffee ready to go. We're on coffee number 2. So the tiredness meter is probably between 0 and 10, probably at a 5. But we are doing it. We are doing it. Chris, what's up, buddy? Michael, what's up, man? Badish, been a member for 13 months, coming in with the bobs this morning. Cheers, man. Cheers. Anyways, I'm excited for a new week, guys. Why? Because the weekends usually freaking suck. The weekends have been horrible lately, man. I mean, really the last few months, the weekends have been absolutely nothing burgers. This weekend, pretty much the same, right? We closed Friday. right around this region at 16,700. Here we are in the market open at 16,500. So you can pretty much call this weekend a giant waste of time. Unless you were trading and you got a little bit of a short or a long this morning. That's really all you really could have done this whole weekend. So what do we got going on now? Because it seems like what we talked about last night seemed to say actually had some resolution to the upside this morning, right? We actually broke this downtrend of resistance here that we were under since last Tuesday, right? After the giant capitulation that we had on sort of Tuesday, we were stuck below this resistance. We actually were able to get back above it, but what do you know? What comes in hot at that resistance point right here? Both the 50 EMA and the 0.5 retracement. So we get a little rejection off there. Now we're coming back down. And now is going to be the big test for Bitcoin, right? We got the breakout to the upside. But are we going to be able to see any continuation of the trend? There's some stuff that's not going our way so far today. So we're going to talk about the DXY and sort of the stock markets that are doing what we don't want them to do. And we'll talk about everything in between. Drunk Bear, what's going on, buddy? He's a drunk little bear this morning. Drunk little bear. Clint said, more dust talk. You are covered in dust, and more dust will drop until you are buried. Thanks, Clint. Cheers to you, man. Cheers. I think I've sucked in too much dust. I might not make it out of the dust. I mean, we've been in this dust for about a week of this freaking dust, man. I mean, we we're still like these cowboys that are shooting in the dust. Do we DCA in the dust? What do we do in the dust? We don't know where our bullets are going, man. Right? We're dueling right now. The Bears and the Bulls have their guns like this in the dust. Do they take the shot? Do they DCA? Or do they hold back on the shot and let the dust settle? It's one of the best analogies. Let's talk about it. Mike said, to dust you will ret. To dust you will ret. To dust where you will get wrecked. Anyways. Besides the point, let's see what Bitcoin did. So Bitcoin did break out. It got a little rejection off the 0.5 retracement. Perfect. Now is the test for Bitcoin. We had this vector candle back down here, right? So obviously this move up off the previous lows is what we wanted to see for Bitcoin, right? We wanted to see if Bitcoin was to come back down and retrace back down to the lows. We wanted to see, obviously, that bounce off the double bottom, right? We obviously don't want to break to a new low. So we get that bounce. We get a nice bullish engulfing candle here on the 2-hour chart, which is awesome, right? We had red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, bullish engulfing candle, right? Break all the way back up to 17,200. It's funny to say break all the way back up to 17,200, but yet here we are on the charts. And then we get a pullback to, looks like we take this little vector candle here on the 2-hour time frame. My big question is here, and this is all I think we got to watch at the current moment, guys, is Bitcoin going to hold this higher low structure, right? You guys can see this coming across. You obviously got these as the previous support, previous support, previous support. You swung below. Is this just going to be a vector candle? Come and get this yellow vector candle here, holding the higher low to get a higher low bounce to try to come back up to the upside. I think if Bitcoin breaks this point right here at about 16,334, it's not going to look very pretty here in the short term. So let's see if Bitcoin's got the guts to hold the support level, which I do think, right now it looks okay, but we got some problems on some other charts, my friends. Some serious problems on the other charts. But like we said, this wants to hold. We want to get that higher low, the back test of the downtrend of resistance, and obviously that hopefully that continued rise back to the upside here. If we are a bull, bearish invalidation, we smack this back to the downside. Oh, that's not going to be very pretty for the bulls, my friends. That's not going to be very pretty for the bulls. The bulls' horns will need to be shaven off, and you'll have to turn into a sheep, okay? Do any of you bulls want to be a sheep? No? I can't hear you. You want to be a sheep? I can't hear you this morning, man. If you don't want to be a sheep, you got to step up to the plate. Don't get your horns shaven off. All right? Let me see what you're saying. It's cold as balls today? Oh, yeah. Today starts the coldness. Today starts the coldness over here. Yesterday was a little bit chilly, but today starts the real cold. I'm actually excited for the cold. I'm not going to lie. It means that, we're sort of going into a new season, which I guess is cool. I'm sick of the heat. And to be honest, give me the Christmas music, right? Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Give me the Christmas music. Give me the walking around the Christmas tree. You know, as I'm snuggled up in you know, maybe a little bit of a blanket, maybe a little bit of a hoodie. You know, give me that. I'm actually kind of excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. You might be calling me evil, and I'll probably be bitching about it in 2 months. Oh, it's cold. Where's the summertime? It's a constant cycle, but I'm actually kind of excited for it. I'm kind of excited about it. DXY going up, facts, and that's what we need to talk about today. All right, DXY is coming up to start the day. Now, does that mean it's going to continue to go up throughout the day? Not necessarily, right? And this is something we talked about yesterday, is the DXY got a massive move down last week, right? I mean, look at the sheer size of that red candle on the weekly time frame for the DXY. I mean, it's the biggest red candle that DXY has had. I mean, I can go all the way back. This looks like the biggest one it's had since, you got to go way back. Man, I can't even find one. This looks like one of the bigger red candles that it's actually ever had, to be honest. So it's just like when you see a big red candle, or you usually do see a little bit of a retrace back up. So today you're getting that slight retrace back up, and we said, okay, what happens to Bitcoin this week if the DXY wants to get a retrace back to the upside? Could be a little bit iffy. Now, we'll see where this ends up. Right now, Bitcoin is holding up, right? Even though the stock market looks like it's coming down a little bit, right? DXY coming up. The big question is, I think we got to watch here, is we know that DXY broke trend on the daily, right? Which is awesome. It's obviously not helping our cause right now. Why? Because we got our own shitstorm to deal with in the crypto market, which, guys, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I talked about that yesterday. I'm sick of talking about that. We know what happened, right? Get your money off exchanges. Let's move on from that freaking shit show. We got our own problems with the deal with the crypto. So the issue is here: is the DXY going to retrace all the way back up to retest this trend line? And if it does, that's historically not very good for Bitcoin. So we got to see what goes on with this, my friends. We got to see. But overall, right, the trend is still down for the DXY. We're getting a green day today, but the trend is still down, at least on the daily chart. So all in all, we sort of let this play out this week and see what we got going on. I'm not going to overreact to the first 30 minutes of a trading week. Why? Because the first 30 minutes of a trading day is usually sketchy, not only just Monday mornings. All right? So don't overreact to the first 30 minutes of a week. Because I think last week was a similar point. Last week, we actually were green, and then you saw what the rest of the week was like. It was absolute carnage, right? So I would say don't overreact to the week. Wish I was as reckless long right now. Reckless long. You could go reckless long. Yes, I'm irresponsibly long. True. All right, what else we got going on? So the stock markets look like they're coming slightly down today. Once again, it's Monday. Like I can't get too overreactive to a Monday. What I'll say about the NASDAQ is I really want to see the NASDAQ hold up here. Let's zoom in on the 4-hour time frame for the NASDAQ just real quick. Even though Bitcoin seems to be kind of doing its own thing the last couple weeks, I'm not going to lie. The NASDAQ, right? We obviously broke out from this resistance last week where we had resistance. We broke out. I want to see this hold today, man. Just on the daily close. Like if we go below it on the shorter term time frames, okay, whatever. But I want to see this hold as a back test today. If it does, that's awesome, right? I think that's going to lead to a little bit more upwards price action. But another thing we got to watch today is will that hold on the daily time frame? If it does, we know we broke out from this downtrend of resistance that we were down since August right here. I don't see why that doesn't lead to, if we can hold on the daily, why that doesn't lead to at least the retest of this big downtrend of resistance, which is spanning all the way back up from up here, right? So we'll wait. Very similar to the price action right here, actually, where we had this price action, where we broke out, we back tested, and then we continued up. Or even this price action. You guys kind of see how it's all similar price action on at least on the NASDAQ, right? First downtrend, you break out, you come back up to test the highs. Break that downtrend, you come back up, you test the highs. Come back down, you break this downtrend, I don't see why you don't come back up and test this. Now, will we break this? Ah! That's a different story. But that's sort of my thought process on the NASDAQ today. Let's go back to BTC. So BTC is getting a bounce off that level. We're going to 100K tomorrow, guys.
We're going to 100K tomorrow.
100K tomorrow. Holy moly, as we let the dust settle this morning. The dust. So much dust in here. Maj, can you clear out the dust? God. Can you get the dust out of here? Put some longs in yesterday before the pump scooped up the red. Cheers, my man. Cheers. So it looks like, yeah, like I said, at least it looks like Bitcoin is holding that support level here in the short term as of right now. So that's good. That's good at least. All right, what do we got going on some other time frames here as we sort of let the dust settle? Wayne. Wayne, I actually did exactly that this weekend, man. When was it? What day was it? The other day. I sort of went through my portfolio and kind of said, okay, what do I really want? What was my plan? My plan was to keep it to 10 alts. So we kind of not rearranged, but kind of redistributed some things around this weekend, personally myself. So I did exactly that way. I sort of got places to the things where I want them to be and kind of redistributed the percentages as you would to certain alts and certain Bitcoin percentages that I think they should be at this point. So I did exactly that, my friend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see. The daily time frame. What do we got going on the daily time frame, man? Well, you guys can see so far today, which it's only been about half the day so far. Big indecision candle in the daily time frame, right? Big wick on the bottom side, big wick on the top side. We're stuck in a range right now. All right. I mean, all in all, you look at where we are. We have support here about 16K. We have resistance here at about 17,600, which was the previous low wick from June, right? And then the 16K support level, which is a big weekly support level looking left, right? Which was one of the 2018 peaks. So we're sort of just range bound at the current moment. I don't think there's too much to really say on the daily. I mean, I guess what the bulls can hope for here is, once again, it's just you got a low, you got the rise, you got the second low. Are you going to see that W formation to come back up? Because we look up, there is liquidity to the upside, right? There's liquidity to the downside too, don't get me wrong. But there is liquidity to the upside. And I'm very curious to see how this week shakes out, because now all of a sudden, right, last week's narrative was the DXY was dumping hard, right? The stock markets were coming up. The NASDAQ had the best day it's ever did last week, but yet Bitcoin struggled. And now the narrative's kind of different. Is the DXY going to get a retrace this week, and the stock market's going to get a retrace this week? Can Bitcoin still hold up in that scenario? I would say Bitcoin's been very kind of doing its own thing lately. I have to say, right? At least temporarily, but it's doing its own thing. So I got to look at this and say, okay, we haven't retested the 19K region yet. And I do think it's likely we come up and retest some of these higher levels in the near future. There's still this red vector candle right here on the daily time frame, right? And we still haven't retested the underside of this support, where we have support. To me, I look up and I see this. I see both the retest and the liquidity to the upside. I don't see why Bitcoin couldn't. You guys might be saying, Jordan, what's going to cause that? Guys, if we haven't learned in this bear market what's going to cause something, I don't know what to tell you, man. Nothing needs to happen, okay? If they want to bring the price up, they bring the price up. They don't care. I don't see why they don't retest the underside of this, okay? To then probably bring it right back down to the range lows. So that's still what I'm watching for overall. It's just that this week we have to sort of battle with the possibility of a DXY retracement, which could put a little bit of a wrinkle into that. So right now, like I said, we're range bound on the daily. There's not too much to say. There's not enough really price action here to really give you anything that's conclusive. So that's where we're at. that's where we're at sort of on the short-term time frames here. Let's see. I sold 5 coins I was holding and went in heavy on Crow. You went in heavy on Crow, Scotty Swing? I know Crow got absolutely decimated a couple days ago. I'm sure it's recovered now. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We got the weekly close yesterday. I think, you know, it's one of those things that, like I said, guys, we're in kind of no man's land right now, right? Because there was two types of people, right? There was the people who, you know, we sort of were above 18K and thought we were going to stay there, and then there was the people who thought we're going to go to 14K. Right now, we're kind of just right in that awkward little area where we're in between those levels. And you know, Bitcoin's trying to decide, does it want to go to 14K? Does it want to retrace back up a little bit? We're in that awkward period. And to me, I'm playing it at a range like this, right? It's like we stay above 16K, which is big support, right? I know we like to say it's not, but it is. And it's not because the Bitcoin chart. And I know that sounds very, very weird, but the 16K support is a big support for Bitcoin. You know, and obviously if we lose that, we're going to 14K if that gets lost. But at the same point, I look at this chart right here and I say, okay, we got the big capitulation to the downside. If you don't think there's a capitulation, just look at the volume, man. The volume was absolutely insane on this move down, right? This is the biggest volume that we've seen since the May 2021 dip. And if you go back to all the previous capitulation candles, okay, if we go back and look, the week after usually ends up being green, okay? And I know that sounds absolutely backwards. It's like, Jordan, we just saw a massive sell-off, bro. What's going to cause it to bump? If we go look at all the previous capitulation candles, all right? Right here in June 2022, this is a massive capitulation right here. Do Kwon, CZ, all this stuff. The next week ended up being green, all right? Go back to May of 2021. Mass capitulation. Next week ended up being green. And what are they? They're just taking that liquidity back to the upside. All right. You go back to March of 2020, sorry. Right? Dip. You got bought back up. All right. 2018, giant capitulation, bought back up. So, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this week actually ends up being green. Stumbledore. Happy holidays, man. Happy holidays. It's almost Thanksgiving. What a wonderful Thanksgiving, man. You get the family. So how's crypto doing? Shut the frick up, man. How's your 401k doing? All right, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to go nuts. Too much risk for me. But anyways, usually after a big capitulation, the next candle ends up being green, right? To get a little bit of a move back up to the mean. I'm not going to say it's gonna moon to the upside, but at least a little retake of this liquidity to the upside is still what I'm looking for, right? Big red vector, retake, right? And then probably, I mean, what happens after that? I mean, it's anyone's guess after that. And we got to sort of reevaluate when we get there. But this is still a big support, guys. And it's, like I said, it's not the Bitcoin chart that's such big support. It's total. Look at total market cap, man. I know we all want to fret and say, oh, right? We all want to cry. Okay, I get it. But we look at total. It's still above the previous all-time high, right? And I've said this consistently in the past, and I sort of forget about it a lot. It's like total market cap chart levels actually play out better than the Bitcoin levels. They're so neat and organized. It's absolutely beautiful, right? Right now, Bitcoin's in like this awkward period where it's just like unorganized. Total market cap, right? Where this is the previous all-time high close and wick. Look where it's sitting, man. It's sitting right on top of that support. Right where this wick is right here. Right? So at the current moment, which also happens to be the 786 retracement from the bear market lows to the bull market highs, you know, so there's a lot of confluence sitting right here, and why I think this could end up being at least a short-term support level that gets us a slight bounce to the upside. Well, you can call me crazy. I like being called a little bit crazy sometimes. Yeah, it helps me a little bit. I actually like when people call me crazy, because when people call me crazy, that means that the pendulum's swung a little bit too far in the opposite end, and it gets snapped back a little bit. But like I said, short term, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a slight movement to the upside. And then from there, we reassess, because the issue is right now, guys, we still don't know the full extent of this bullshit that's going on right now, okay? The dust has settled for like a couple days, but we don't know what other companies still need to come out or will come out. So, like I said, we got to sort of take this day by day, because we can look at the charts and all stuff like this. But if one big thing comes out again, it ruins everything, man. All right. Or if one positive thing comes out that helps us, I guess that's sort of where we're at the current environment of crypto. Is everyone's just on edge, waiting for that next exchange to go down. So that's where we're at. But I would say the total market cap chart still looks okay. But I will say this: if total market cap breaks this level, oh Lord, man, that's not going to be great, right? Because the next level we have as support for total is all the way back down here, man, which would be a pretty significant drop. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. I mean, if total broke this level from our current lows, that would be, man, that would be about a 45% drop for total market cap. And I don't think we want to see that, my friends. I'm telling you right now. We want to hold this support, my guys. This is pretty big for, I mean, you can look at the Bitcoin chart all you want, but this is a pretty significant gap where for total, it was straight up, straight down, straight up. And I wouldn't be surprised if it broke this, if it just went straight down to 432 billion. So that's a pretty significant gap there that we don't want to break, my friends. Jordan kills me with that Mickey Mouse voice. But Jordan, what's going to cause that? That's my favorite, man. It's like, what's going to cause a dump? What's going to cause a pump? Guess what, man? Bitcoin does whatever it wants to do, when it wants to do it, how it wants to do it. If we don't know that already, if we don't understand that the Bitcoin price is controlled, I don't know what to tell you guys, right? If someone wants to if the market makers want to bring the price back up, they don't need a reason to do it. They're going to do it. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we get caught so up in the narrative where it's like we need something to bring the price up or we need something to bring the price down. No. If the market maker wants to bring the price up or down, they're going to do it. It's as simple as that. Every market is controlled in that way. If we don't think it is, then I think you live in a sort of fairy tale world. And I'm going to be honest. Bull market back, baby? Elliot, no, bull market's not back, man. Let's keep it real. But I will say we are at an interesting point here where, I mean, man, even a lot of the OGs of this space are absolutely on edge right now. Right? A lot of OGs in this space are on edge, and I haven't seen. This is a crazy time that we're in right now. Definitely for sure. We're in like the apocalypse of the crypto exchanges, which is probably a good thing at the end of the day. But that's what we got. Lupus, what's going on? But I could short that, right? You could. If you don't know, next February I'll be 28 with 30 years of experience. Facts. This bear market gave you a lot of experience, man. Holy moly, bro. We went through an absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. I mean, we're still going through a shit show. It is what it is. And guys, it's the same point on the on Total 3. Total 3 on the weekly time frame, sitting right on top of previous all-time highs. This is a big support for altcoins and Bitcoin, man. Not so much on the Bitcoin chart, but on total market cap and altcoin market cap. Sitting right on top of previous all-time highs. Right at 300-week moving average. It's the same thing for alts, man. You got the 786 retracement at 265 billion for alts, but like at the same point, if that one comes down, woo, man, hot diggity dog. 178, which for alts, I mean a 44% drop. This is definitely another level we want to see held, my friends. And I will say this, like, guys, I'm not calling bottoms, I'm not calling tops, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm DCA on the way down and DCA on the way up. I don't give a shit about a top or a bottom, bro. All right? I don't give a shit about a top or a bottom. I know a lot of you guys give a shit about tops or bottoms. Okay? Keep it to the ladies, okay? As far as you like top and or bottoms, all right? Not the Bitcoin charts. I will say this. We have no idea what's going to happen next, but I will say if 15.5 for whatever reason ends up being the bottom for Bitcoin, which I'm going to say, guys, I don't think it is. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think it is, and maybe that means it is. No one expected right here. Everyone already thought the bottom was in or thought 14K was inevitable. So, I mean, this would be such an interesting point just as far as like that no one knows what the frick they're talking about as far as that goes, which I still don't think anyone really knows what the hell they're talking about. Everyone guesses. The bears sound correct right now, but listen, they're obviously going to sound correct. But even their bottom calls might be still wrong. It might go lower than their bottom calls, and then they're wrong too. The bears are always right as the market moves down, and the bulls are always right as the market moves up. That's the case and standpoint of the current thing. See, buying at the bottom gets you more tops and bottoms. You're right, Drunk Bear. It definitely does. Let me see. The balls market in full effect. Yeah, man, this market is just another absolute shit show. Now, another bearish thing I would say for Bitcoin, which I don't know if we need any more bearish stuff, but I'm just looking at everything we got over here, man. The VIX, right? The VIX has reached a point where it usually bounces. And we talked about this when the VIX was at the top, and we said, okay, when the VIX gets to the top, Bitcoin usually has a nice rally. Now, that worked out, right? Bitcoin did have a nice rally from like 18 to 22, and then sort of we got the Bitchman guy who came out and kind of ruined that whole thing. But that's besides the point. The VIX is now back at the bottom, right? Which if we look at all these times, if we go back and look at all these times where the VIX bottoms here on this general trend, that's when Bitcoin usually tops on its current move. Will this time be different? Will Bitcoin defy the VIX? We'll see. If we go over to the weekly chart, you can see the VIX is coiling up here. What is the VIX? Basically the volatility of the S&P. So I think everyone's waiting for this to have a giant breakout to sort of mark a bottom on the stock markets, which inevitably would mark the bottom on Bitcoin. But, this would point to where we kind of bounced in the past, at least since 2021, of being the point where Bitcoin should see a downside move. So there's so much shiza going on, man. And is the VIX going to come back up here, and is Bitcoin going to come down? Question remains for everyone to decide for themselves. As we hop on to all this shit in the market. Let's see the DXY. DXY is starting to pull back a little bit on the day. Let's go to the daily on the DXY. Nothing crazy. Pulling back a little bit. Stocks. Oh, the S&P is starting to come back up now. That's good. That's good. The S&P looks like it's trying to reverse back to the upside. It was pretty in the red, and now it's green. So let's freaking go, man.
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
No, I told you guys this earlier today. I think the S&P and the NASDAQ got a little bit more upside here in the short term to at least retest this trend, which every single bear market rally has retested this general trend, or the 200-day moving average, which comes in slightly below. So, let's see. Let's see. Wayne said, you will reap what you sow. It's time to start sowing the crypto seeds if you have not done so already. Nothing planted in the bear market means nothing to harvest in the bull market. That is facts, my friends. That is facts. And like I said, today, right now sucks. It's a sucky time in the market. But what I've learned about most people in this market is, or most people who have been around this market, the longer you're in this market, the more successful you are. I mean, I look at everyone who has become like super successful in crypto. They've been around for multiple years. They don't just hop in and then just dip, That's not usually the case unless you get lucky with like Doge or Shiba or something like that, and you actually cash out, which most people don't do either. But we're at that point where this is accumulation zone. Most people aren't accumulating. Every crypto cycle, man. Every time at the bottom, crypto's dead. It's never coming back. But it always seems to do it somehow. You know? It always seems to do it. Some way, somehow, it seems to pull its shit together and come out that. It's just that interesting chart where, you know, you look at Bitcoin like this and you say, okay, it's not doing anything different than it always has, right? It has about a year of downside, right? Yeah, basically, usually about 75 weeks of a bull market, okay? And then about a year of downside, and then about another 75 weeks of sideways, and then 75 weeks of bull market, right? Right here, right? A year of downside, 78 weeks of sideways, 75 weeks of up, a year of bear market, 75 weeks of sideways, a year of up, a year of bear market. Now, this might not be over. Like this, and this is why I extended a little bit, because this bear market was 59 weeks long. It's been about 52 weeks at this point. So we could still have another 2 months of this bullshit, you know, at the very least, about 2 months of this bullshit. But if history was to repeat again, you know, sometime by, you know, December, January, we should see a bottom. And then, you know, sometime between now and January, we should see a bottom. And we should see that, you know, orange period where you go slightly up, but it's mostly just sideways chop, you know? Sideways freaking chop, man. So right now, we're in that Bitcoin is dead, where no one wants to accumulate, and then they bite themselves in 2 years when they end up buying the highs. I mean, it's not at this point, hasn't really been anything different. Doesn't mean it can't be anything different. Doesn't mean this can all change. I mean, so many things we looked at have changed, man, and that's why I am neutral as a mofo at the current moment. Besides on what is Bitcoin going to go up or down from this point, because so many things that I looked at and I said, okay, I'm going to use these as buy indicators in the bear market have now been broken. So who am I to say that this won't be broken too? You know, I have no freaking clue, man. And anyone that's going to tell you that really, at this point, you know, I think this is one of the one things you can kind of hope for is that the 4-year cycle is going to keep playing out. Because, I mean, it hasn't been broken yet. And I know a lot of people that have been bearish this whole year that have been waiting for the 4-year cycle and are sort of saying, okay, I expect the bottom to be, you know, by at the very latest Q1 of 2023, which at this point is only a few months away. So that's where we're at, man. That is where we are at. Key said, I call 4 weeks at the bottom. Could be, dude. Could be. I mean, based off history, it should be between now and like sort of like the first week of January, in theory. But I would say anything's on the table at this point. I mean, we sort of went through yesterday. Like all that shit is thrown out the window. Like now we have to start looking for new shit to sort of mark bottoms for the next bear markets whenever that happens. Can I check out Matic? Yeah, let's check out some altcoins. It seems like there's a few altcoins that are trying to come up a little bit today because Bitcoin is up slightly today. So this is Matic on the daily, which we'll see Matic. Matic thing came back down to that 90 cent level. Came back down to 83 cents. So you can see Matic's kind of just chopping too, right? Up, down, up, down, up. Matic's just getting a little choppy. I would say, I mean, Matic's got a pretty strong support here at like 73 cents. I mean, it's since July, it's just consistently bouncing from this level. Bounce, 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 bounce. But if you look at since July, I mean, yeah, you've had a little bit of a uptrend there, but it's mostly been sideways chop. You know, and it's been like this for a lot of altcoins. Bitcoin's broken to a new lows, but this is why I say, like, people shitting on altcoins, man. There's plenty of altcoins that have held up significantly better than Bitcoin. All right, and if you're not looking at the chart and looking at that, you're just not looking at the charts. You're just passing around a narrative. Matic, from its lows, is still up 3x from its June lows. Bitcoin is down like 20% from its June lows. So you're just not looking at the chart if you're saying stuff like that. But Matic really just been going sideways since July. So that's kind of been the point. You're in the middle of the range, and that's where you're at. I mean, the one thing I guess you can say here is, let's go to like the 8-hour chart. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about this chart, man. It's you're kind of just making lower highs as you come down. Not really a perfect trend line or anything. And sideways support. So it's just chop, man. This is just chop suey at the current moment. And that's really it. You're waiting on a resolution for Bitcoin. And that's the current time right now. This 70-cent level is probably where I would DCA into Matic myself at this point, because that seems to be like the rock solid support level. Obviously, if it comes down lower, you're a rock star, right? You want to pick up 30-cent Matic again or whatever. I mean, you're a freaking rock star if it comes down here. But as far as like 70 cents, it's probably a good point where I'll add, because at this point, if Bitcoin drops to 14K, it's probably where Matic comes down to. It's like a 22% drop for where you are right now. So that's sort of where I'm at for Matic. And Matic's going to be that one that I'm going heavy into, right? ETH, Matic, and Algo. Those are the three alts that I'm really going pretty hard into as we sort of go along. So that's really Matic. I would say you just got to break out of this range, man. You just got to do it. And when alts are waiting for the dust to settle, I added Bitcoin and ETH when Bitcoin was at 16K. Other than that, I'm letting the dust settle here. I'm personally letting the dust settle from this current point, from right now until Bitcoin decides to make up its current mind at the moment. Bathwater said, I slurped near at 186. We'll slurp lower if we go there. I love that he's slurping it, man. I'm going to slurp my coffee some more. Yeah, Bathwater, I agree. I mean, we were talking, I don't know if you were on the stream yesterday, Bathwater, but we were talking about that yesterday, right? The absolute sheer capitulation of Bitcoin yesterday was, I mean, you look back in the past, I mean, this is on the index, you go on any exchange, right? I mean, you look back over here, man, it's like you saw, I mean, that was a massive sell-off, right? I mean, it doesn't look that big on the index, but I mean, I went back and I looked, and every single time you got volume that was bigger than this on the weekly, ended up getting at least a move up in the short term. Doesn't mean it has to be like an absolute like banger to the upside, right? But it either ended up marking a bottom or ended up, marking a significant turnaround point in the charts, right? And this is just the index. Like if you go to Bitcoin on, it was obviously the biggest volume on Binance that ever has happened in the history, right? Which is insane. And also, if you go to Coinbase, let's see, check some of the bigger exchanges here. Coinbase, yeah, I mean, look at the Coinbase volume, man. That's absolutely insane. Look at the volume on Coinbase, bro. The highest volume ever on Coinbase. So, I mean, not only do you have the highest volume ever on Binance, you also have the highest level ever on Coinbase as well. Nut burgers. Nuts. And we sort of look at every single time this has had this volume, it has at least marked a short-term bottom, other than this one right here, which obviously you still got a little bit of upside there, right? You still went from like 5,800 to 12K at that point. But it's nuts, man. And I know we sort of forget about this because June also was a massive capitulation that didn't end up marking the bottom. It didn't. I thought it was going to be the bottom unless we saw some huge like freaking thing happen. And obviously the second biggest exchange, crypto, going down is a pretty freaking big deal. So that catapulted us to new lows. But here we are. So I guess with that second big capitulation of the bear market, which in 2018 you had sort of a big capitulation and then a second big capitulation. And then that was obviously the lows. So here we are. It's an interesting take for sure to see what happens. Let's see. Now go ties into FTX. Yeah, I mean, I think FTX has ties into everything, man. You know what I mean? I think it personally has ties into everything. And I mean, and Bathwater, I think the thing that really ties into that too is the fact that total market cap is still holding such an important support level, right? We know Bitcoin capitulated, so did total market cap, but that's still sitting right here. So even if total market cap gets a rise or something, like whether it gets a rise here or a little bit lower, whatever, it gets a rise, right? And then sort of continues to sort of come back down, right? And just kind of this range probably ends up being the range. Like, you know, whether you see one more giant flush out to like, you know, a little bit lower levels and you end up coming back up, I think this is going to be the range. It's very, very similar to this chart over here at the end of the day. This will end up being the general range. Can you have wicks below? Yeah. I mean, you never can count out some other idiot doing something stupid in the crypto space, but this will end up being the range, and most people won't buy here and end up kicking themselves at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But, I mean, yeah, if you look at Near got absolutely destroyed. I think Near also had some ties to FTX, which means, I mean, they got pretty decimated there. I mean, Near's at a pretty big support level, too. Just looking left. Support's support in this current market, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad place to add some Near either, for sure. 193, woo, man. On little Near protocol. BTC sucks. East for life. ETH for life, brother. Nah, I like both. I think we gotta start it. And I don't know. I think talking shit. I guess I do that too. Nah, I'm gonna take that back because Litecoin sucks. I'm gonna say we gotta stop talking shit about other coins, but Litecoin sucks, so I'm not gonna stop doing it. All right, what else have we got? Man, there's a lot of stuff here. Let me see what you guys said in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Anyways, Link's also at an interesting level, right? Support. I mean, all this stuff is so interesting, right? Bitcoin's breaking lows, yet you got Link holding support. Let's see. DOT is right at support. ETH is still significantly above the previous low. Obviously, we know, I mean, Sol was just freaking FTX. Just got destroyed by FTX, but I mean, I think it's good. I mean, if you're a believer in Solana, the project, I mean, this gives you a fantastic opportunity to get some really low prices on Sol. Like, after this whole FTX shit goes away and Sol finds some sort of a base, if you believe in Sol, I mean, this is ridiculous. $13 Sol. That's absolutely insane, man. I mean, you're talking about a mid-cap coin, a mid-cap crypto that was in the top 10 that is, I mean, at this point down about 95% from the highs, which is insane. Let's see, what else you got? XRP still holding, right? I mean, a lot of these altcoins are still holding support, which I find fascinating in time like this. You know, we want to talk about the weakness of crypto, yet these alts are holding up like freaking rocks, man. Like, you guys find it as fascinating as me? That, like, not every altcoin, but I mean, a lot of alts are holding up like rocks. And I think this is the time where you got to pay attention to the altcoins, because you want to pay attention to the ones that are holding like strong like rocks, right? Which ones are holding like rocks? Matic, right? Matic's been a freaking beast. That one's been holding up like a rock. What else? Uniswap has been holding up like a rock, right? I mean, Uniswap at this point is still up 2x from the June lows. Uniswap's been holding up like a rock. I got you on sushi, my friend. Let's see. So Uniswap's still there. Chili's has been holding up like a rock. Man, I mean, there's been some interesting ones. QNT obviously has got a big pullback at this point, but QNT's been holding up like a rock. Look at all these altcoins, man. It's crazy, dude. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, even look at ETH Classic, still up significantly from lows. So there it is, man. But then you got Bitcoin chilling down here, right? It is what it is. I mean, the chart speaks for themselves. No? I blame it on the bong hits. Nice, dude. Nice. Nice. Let's look at ETH real quick, and then I'll probably call it a stream, man. I mean, doesn't seem like there's too much going down here in sort of the morning. And, yeah, that's about where we're at the current moment, man. It might be almost time for Jordan to cut it down to one stream a day again. It's almost time for that at this point. Holy moly. But, Let's see what else we got. So Ethereum, yeah, see Ethereum? And this is exactly what I didn't want to do for Ethereum here, right? I didn't want to test these previous highs, which turn into support and then flip it into resistance again. So Ethereum, man, you're still right there. You're still freaking right there. Highs, support, flip it into resistance. At this point, you're playing the range on Ethereum, right? This is resistance. Whoops. Get out of here, line. Woo! Get out of here, buddy. This is resistance. This is support. We're playing the range here. So this is the point. You, at least for the short term, you probably want to go short. This is for the short term. You probably want to go long. At the end of the day, and we sort of play this. If you're a swing trader, you sort of play it like that. But other than that, price action is going to give you it, man. Price action, price action, price action. I mean, ETH chart is very clean right now. There's resistance here, there's resistance here, and there's support here. It's a very clean chart. I like when stuff is very, very clean and neat. How does Ethereum get bullish? You get back above this support level. But we haven't been able to do it yet. So we still patiently wait. Just like Bitcoin. How does Bitcoin, maybe get a little bit bullish here? Got to get back above 19K. Anything below 19K is noise at this point. It's noise, it's noise, it's noise. Because Bitcoin can get a major rally here, but that could just be a support into resistance flip just to come back down. So I don't think that, for me, there's no point in getting super excited over any type of Bitcoin move until it gets back above 19K at this point. Which is... That's just the reality of the situation that we're in. Because what was previously big support, and we're jerking off to this being such a big support level, and it was for so long. There was so many good long opportunities at this level. Now it's going to be the same point. If it comes back up, this is going to be rock solid resistance here. Unfortunately, and that's probably going to be good short opportunities there. So, yeah, that's where we're at, my friends. That is where we at. Let's look at sushi real quick. I know a bunch of people were trading sushi not too long ago. Sushi swap. Sushi swap. Let's see what we got. Jordan 2 streams. Jordan Y. Hey Jordan, don't do that. People are flocking to decentralization again. Jew. Yeah, so sushi swap. I mean, it was let's just look at the chart logistically, right? I mean, support coming across. Let's not make it too difficult. Support coming across. Support. Found support again. Cool. So another altcoin that's still above the lows. And what happened? Well, sushi broke out of this downtrend of resistance over here, which was a nice opportunity to get back into the highs. Got rejected at the highs. Came back down. On this back test, you wanted to see this hold if it was bullish. The problem is you broke through, and now you're finding resistance on this again. So, sushi kind of at the same point. If you want to see sushi look good again, you got to break this downtrend here. Until it gets back above this, it's just, this was a deviation, and you're sort of just back in the lower high structure here, right? And that's sushi. That's sushi at the moment. That's it. That's it. I mean, we can get pumped and dumped all we want over here, but that is where we're at. Yeah, I mean, this price action looks over here, right? Rise, retrace, rise. This kind of looks like an M formation right below resistance. So that's where we're at with sushi. Kind of the same deal, man. We got to let this dust settle. I know you guys are sick of hearing about the dust, but there's too much dust right now, right? We can't see through the dust. We don't even know what's on the other side of the dust right now. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. And the other one that was doing good is it's pulling back. So if you guys were looking for like the decentralized exchange plays, DYDX was sort of in the move, right? So DYDX yesterday pulled back. We took this vector candle right here, and it's now actually looking to paint a pretty bullish daily candle if it can get slightly higher than this. Nice bullish hammer candle there, which is, it's right at resistance, but you know, DYDX has got the narrative going for it, right? Because everyone doesn't like the centralized exchanges right now, and DYDX is that uncentralized exchange, well, in theory. And it's got that nice W formation here, man. It's just got to break the neckline, which is right there. But DYDX could be an interesting play, which is one that I'm currently looking for right here. So if you caught that move, nice. It's a nice narrative play. But you're right at resistance right now, so just be careful, obviously. But if DYDX can break out, find some support there, it might be a good play at this point. Rodney, I bought more weed and not the dip. Let's see. Pierre. Rodney said ditto. Ditto. Everyone's going for the weed in times like this. Guys, get off that dopamine, man. Let your mind speak. Okay? Let you be yourself. Anyways, I'm not gonna rant about this. Anyways, I'm gonna get off for the day, guys. I'll be back at 7 p.m. tonight, and keep it easy, right? Let's keep letting the dust settle. It's the same kind of deal for Bitcoin, guys. Right? It's this support here in the short term. We want to see held to support, and then also just a back test of this downtrend of resistance. In the meantime, let's wait, right? Let's wait. At the end of the day, you know, we still don't know the full extent of this FTX thing. We still got to let the dust settle. I would say there's still some interesting things on the charts, but we're in sort of a interesting time, right? Where we're caught in between the two levels where you had a bunch of people thinking the bottom was in, right? And then you have a bunch of people think we're going to 14K, and we're right exactly smacked in the middle of those two levels. So let's see, right? Was the FTX thing just a major liquidation and capitulation, and we get that snap back to the mean, back to the upside? Or was that just the start of the shit show? And is there more shit show to come to bring us down lower? That's what we're waiting for right now, man. All right? So I'll catch you guys later, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the end of the day, here's where we're at. The accumulation zone, 99% of people that were in crypto up here won't be buying anything down here. It's an absolute fact. So let's freaking get busy. Let's wait this shit out. Now it's the sucky times, and we'll sort of wait that shit out. Let the dust settle. All right? Adios, my friends. Peace out. See you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one. Peace.